thank the gentlelady, and now I recognize the gentleman from Utah.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, good seeing you again. Here.
There you go.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for bringing your entrepreneurial expertise to an industry that has long forgotten what a good return on investment is when it comes down to teaching our kids. There's nothing more important for the survival of our American culture than what you're tasked to do. You represent the end of accepting failure as an option. And on behalf of those who love the role of educators because they love the children they teach, I want to thank you for that passion. As you know, the House passed resolution, reconciliation bill, includes a version of the Education Choice for Children's Act, which will provide billions in tax credit scholarships for school choice. I have long advocated for school choice and am eager to see a much-needed school choice legislation enacted into federal level. Why do you think expanding school choice is such a huge win for parents who are desperate for educational options?
Well, thank you very much, Congressman, for that question. School choice, I believe, is one of the top things we can do to make sure that every child has equal access to an excellent education. And President Trump certainly believes, and I've said this many times even this morning, he truly believes, as do I, that the best education is that is closest to the child. When, when we think about teachers who are with our students, our children, every single day, school superintendents and parents who should have rights over the say of the curriculum that are being taught to their children, these are all things that are part of the school choice program. The president does not believe that any child should be imprisoned, if you will, in a failing school, but should have opportunities to go to other schools. And so I'm really pleased to see that he has wanted limits or the budget's increased for our charter schools. He wants to make sure that our public schools have the best teachers, the best funding. He wants to make sure that all private schools, religious schools, and even those that are teaching their children at home with homeschooling have all the best tools available. He was embarrassed by the NAEP scores. He was embarrassed by where the education levels were in our country, and he was angry. And when he's talked to me about it, he said, we absolutely need to make changes so that our students can have the best education in the world and that their performance scores will indicate that.
By the way, we all should be angry by what's happened to our kids today. It is a travesty. And by the way, every child, no matter what zip code they live in, deserves the rights for life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. The only way that can happen is through education. You have been aggressive in attacking the scourge of DEI in our educational institutions. This has been the root cause of anti-Semitism our children are trained to embrace. Of course, our Democratic colleagues are accused of attacking free speech, whitewashing history, and using DEI as a cover to launch a political crusade against institutions you don't like. Could you talk more about why DEI is an important civil rights issue for all students?
Well, unfortunately, many of the programs of DEI did more, the title was Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and it did more, I think, to separate and to provide more segregation ideas because it pitted an oppressor versus oppressed ideology. Many students were taught that if you're white, you're privileged. If you're not, you should not bring that privileged group as part of what you're doing. That is exactly contrary to, I think, everything we've been trying to accomplish in our country over the years so that everyone really has equal access, equal opportunity under the law.
Yesterday you had a hearing with a senator out of Rhode Island who said you are surrendering by giving the power back to the parents and the districts. I just want to remind everybody that we in 2025 have 70% of our kids in 8th grade cannot read, write, and think. In 2017, black kids in the state of California, 75% could not read, write, and think. Here in Baltimore, we have zero proficiency in math for many of the schools in this district. So I think it's kind of arrogant for those bureaucrats here, politicians who believe that we do it best for our kids, and when the parents should be at the front of that. I want to thank you and this department and this administration for understanding that the power belongs to the parents, and we're going to start producing some of the smartest, wisest, and the most hopeful students in the history of mankind. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Now yield back.